Hello everyone. Today we will look at Python variables. So as far as learning Python is concerned, once you learn variable, it's like a quantum jump. It's a lot of fun afterwards. So let's see. So we have so far learned, we know we have integers, we know we have floating point numbers, we know strings, and we can multiply it to, and then we know we can do hello, right? How string concatenation and so forth, right? So we learned all this, and so we can do operation on say we can perform operations on integers. So one of the things that I do these numbers like that, for example, I'm adding a series of numbers. I have this operation going on. So once I do that, it's just gone. I mean, if I ask, oh, what was my first number? Suppose there's the maybe say number of students in a class or a school, or the heights of students, say. So immediately I do that calculations, it's just gone. But for me, I would like to say, for example, say, is there any way for we can tell Python, would you say keep this, remember this number for me, or remember this string for me, remember this floating point number for me, remember this object for me? Is there a way for us to do that? So the point that is, for example, say, so what I'm saying is, for example, so we have say 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and so forth. So if I want to say Python, what is it? This is my first number, or this is my second number, or this is this number. I want to somehow be able to tell Python to remember these for us. So let's imagine a box, right? So I'm going to put this 2 in that box. Similarly, I have another box, right? And I am going to put this 3 inside this, and another box, say, and I put this 4 inside that. And so, and now I'm going to call this, say, these are since numbers, I'm going to call this as n1. That is the name of this box. N2, this. It doesn't have to be N2 and N3. I can say number 1 or box 1 or whatever makes sense. So these boxes are called this. And in N1 box we have 2, N2 box we have 3, N3 box we have 4. And the names N1, N2, N3 can be any whatever combination of letters and numbers. So, and we can also use symbols, underscores, and so forth. So in Pythonic way, the way we will write this is, I can say something like n1 is the name and equal to 2. Similarly, here I can say n2 equal to 3 and 3 equal to 4. So here n1 and n2, n3, all these names etc. are called variables. So variable. So how does this translate to Python? Let's go to the interpreter and let's see. So we go to here, right? So we have, say, n1, I'm saying is 2 3 3, then n2 equal to 3 3, n3 equal to n4 equal to 3 3, right? Now what's the use? So now we have all these variables n1 n2. So what do you, I can say n1. Yeah, so we have n1. I forgot what was n1. What is n4? Yeah, Python tells you. What is n3? Yeah, what is n2? Now what is the point? What can I do with this, right? So now instead of saying again, going back and saying 2 3 3 3 plus and so on 4, what can I do? I can say n1 plus n4 plus n2 plus n3, right? So I get that. Or I can do maybe like a sum of squares, right? I can do sum of squares. I can do average of that, or I can just do some. So I have different possibilities. I can do multiply or n1 star n2 plus n3 star n4. I can do multiple complex calculations. So those are simply variables. So now so we can do, so not only just we are able to just make Python remember these quantities, these numbers, these objects for us, it's also a meaningful way of representing our objects in the code. So for example, we have, say, rather than writing a bunch of numbers lying around, I can actually associate a name with an object. So I have easy to read. Oh, this is the rate. So for example, this is my say principal amount, right? Say amount equal to 1000, rate equal to 20, right? Years, right? So if you want number of years, by say 5 years, so I can say now calculate the compound interest, right? I say amount star 1 plus rate, right, n minus 1, right? So we got that. So and so we can also associate directly this to meaningful name. We can say compound interest, right? Now I can say compound, right? So I can do we can do the things we already learned. We can do say 2 places or right? So we can use the things we already learned, and so we have a meaningful way. Now I can ask what is the amount. I can do a different calculation. I say just change the same equations. We can, right? I can do a different, maybe for n plus 5, right? So I can do a different different calculation, I can just change the particular variable. It makes my code also readable, and we are also able to use the same quantities in a future point of time in my code. So now with all the things we learned so far, we can perhaps rewrite a small piece of code, say conversion program, right? Say we say vi conversion.py, right? Say t conversion. Say we say temperature conversion program. So we are going from, say, Celsius, right, to Fahrenheit. So the formula was, what was the, how do we do? We do it simply by saying C times, right, 9 by 5 plus 32, right? So we can say F equal to C times, this is our formula. So now we can say C equal to 30, and we say print temperature in Fahrenheit equal to F. I believe my formula is right? So we already got the result, 86. So now you can use a different variable like Celsius, or cell, Far, can be in Celsius, Far, here, cell, right? And here correspondingly we have changed. So we get. So now remember, using also the thing that we already learned to make the program more user interactive. Well, how do we do that? So we can, rather than just assigning this here, what can we do? We can take the input from the people, right? What we do, we'll say Celsius, right, equal to, this is key, input, right? Remember the input function we learned, enter temperature in Celsius. So here there's a small thing. Since I have been using interactive thing, I haven't earlier assigned this input to a variable. Here what we are doing is we read the values using this guy, and whatever comes to it, we are going to put it and save it for our future purpose in Celsius. So essentially Celsius gets the input. Here, remember, there's a catch, right? The input reads the things in what kind of object? Strings. So we have to cast to a float. So enter the temperature in Celsius. So I say that. So that's the whole point, right? Or we can do rerun and say temperature in 122, like that. So we very easily we wrote a very complete Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion program with what all we have learned so far. So that is, it's a big jump in terms of writing pieces of codes, learning variables. So that's what I wanted to discuss for this this session, and thank you very much for watching.